Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tales of Gaming Addiction, a YouTube channel where we talk about gaming and all the good it's done, not the fact that it's highly addictive. So, on to today's video, which is a little bit of a head-scratcher, thought-provoker, discussionizer. That's a new word, I'm going to have to remember that one. A discussionizer. That sounds like some really weird gun in the Saints Row franchise. Anyway, on to the subject of today's video, which is that is the FPS genre dying out? Although I want to rephrase that now, not to dying out, but to evolving, shall we say. Mainly because of something that's piqued my interest the other day when I was going through my newsfeed and drinking my morning cuppa, and it was the news that the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare sales weren't on par with Destiny on the Xbox One and PS1, the current generation consoles. So I was sitting there scratching my head and thinking about this and going through it all and everything else. And I actually went and thought about this really in depth and then did some digging. I thought, well, is it actually, down to sales? Is it really that bad? And looking back at the past Call of Duty and the past Battlefield sales, that's already not the case. I mean, they've been going up, but some, variations have been doing better than others. I mean, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3 had completely different sales figures due to their release dates. So, okay, it's not that. Could it be oversaturation in the market? Well, let's actually look into this one as well. Okay, look into the actual market. No, that's still the same. It's not due to Activision's things of making Call of Duty a yearly franchise game. It's still fairly strong. So, it's not that. Is it down to an esports factor? Being a League of Legends shoutcaster in general at least. Could it be the fact that people now want to play more League than ever before? I'll go and dig deeper into that. No, actually, as it turns out, that's not changed either. Games like Counter-Strike are still going strong, even though it's an esport. So, what about... Well, what other factors were there? What's changed? Obviously, it's not the esports side of things. Well, what about depth in the story? Is that changing? Well, obviously people don't buy COD for the story, they buy it for the multiplayer side of things, so that's out the window. I know Battlefield did a nice thing during 10.42, and they brought it back during 3, where they gave the map a story of, why you're fighting there, why the conflict takes place, and that's it. So it's not that. Again, sitting there digging through it all, and then we finally dawned upon me, well, is it the fact that it's a modern military shooter that this came about? So I looked down that path, and that's when I found out, this is why I said it's going to be evolving. Because obviously over the years, Call of Duty has been changing its style of shooter. I mean, the last modern military shooter was Modern Warfare 3. Since then we've had Ghosts, we've got Advanced Warfare, which aren't modern military as such. They've been focusing more on technology, the fact that the next battle, the next World War, won't be fought with soldiers out in the streets of Paris or down towards the Brandenburg Gate. It's going to be a combination of people in an office block stopping the government from being hacked, whilst at the same time a small team is on the enemy territory trying to gain access to their government systems, and in some way just bring their country to a standstill, because we rely so much on the information these days. Obviously, because we've had all the phone hacking at least here in the UK, we've had phone hacking scandals, government expenses, and people getting really quite riled up about it. And the truth still same in gaming, where we've recently had the hashtag Gamergate scandal explode out of nowhere, all because personal information got out. And it was a control of ethics. But moving on to that and on to this subject, that has to be it. I mean, the Arma franchise itself really is, in terms of the best way to describe it, isn't a shooter, it's a military simulator. So, the guns have accurate recoil, there's accurate bullet drop, you get affected by wind, by the spin of the world, or the speed of the game world, how far you've been running, your breathing and everything else, all that impacts your shot. Compared to Call of Duty where it's, well, are you scoped? Yes or no, right? That's your accuracy percentage. It's very fixed. So, that has to be, Destiny is a very sci-fi shooter. Everything's all hoverboards and lasers and very smooth lines compared to very straight lines that we have now, the modern military straight line tank rifle car sort of thing. Or that you find in a 5-year-old's math book. So that has to be it. That has to be the defining reason. So in which case, the question now becomes, not is the FPS genre dying out, is the FPS genre evolving? And I would have to say yes. It is most definitely evolving. I would love to see it become more of a sci-fi shooter. And we've definitely seen that over the years. Backtracking all the way back to the early days of gaming, way back, we've had things like, we had Doom and Unreal Tournament, they were heavily sci-fi, and we had Quake. They were all sci-fi. The guns made no sense, the physics made no sense, the characters, they didn't look normal, they were either robots or aliens or people in power armor. And then we sort of turned off that, we went down the whole route of James Bond for a little bit. We had GoldenEye, which was it was sci-fi, but it was also very normally there was people shooting people. It wasn't robots shooting aliens shooting people. And then we came on to the World War II shooters, and then we went from past into modern, with Call of Duty going from Call of Duty 2 to COD 3 to COD 4 Modern Warfare. And then Battlefield did the same thing with 1942, and I went, well, you know what, we'll release Battlefield 2, and then it got dubbed Battlefield 2 Modern Warfare when it was released for the PS2 and the Xbox. And now over time, we've gone through the modern military side of things, and now we're going back into sci-fi again. But we're coming back on ourselves, if that makes sense. So, it's still people shooting people, but it's people in enhanced battle suits, and, the guns are smarter, the way we fight is smarter. You could still say it's modern, but do you honestly see soldiers out in Afghanistan and the current fighting fronts, and they're wearing this power armor that you see from Advanced Warfare? No, you don't. They're just wearing Kevlar body armor, a helmet, and they're still using a standard assault rifle, or a rifle of some description. The most advanced thing they have is the radio. But that's a really clean set radio. The microphone has to withstand everything, the headset has to withstand everything, and it has to be able to transmit regardless of its location. A hill cannot stop it. It must go through the hill, or over the hill, or under the hill as its path led. So that's the best description that comes to mind with these things. And it was during all this that, this is now the evolution of the modern military shooter. So, with all this in mind, and the way everything all blends and blurs together, it's obvious that the landscape of the FPS is now going to change. We're going to see a lot less broken buildings and destroyed cities, and now we're going to be fighting robot armies. And, it's going to be a corporate military rather than country versus country. We're not going to see USA versus Russia anymore. We're going to be seeing, Arm Tech versus Manco. To coin CF2, which is going down a similar route of things. And that's all I could think of on this discussion in the grand scheme of things. And that was pretty much the basis of our discussion. I go through all the research, and that's all I have to say. That's all I can think of. I'm trying to pan this video out to at least 10 minutes, so apologies for this last little bit of blathering. So, back on topic. The FPS genre hasn't died, it's begun to evolve, adapt, and change. We're now seeing less modern, more sci-fi, more futuristic, more fun. We're breaking away from realism, we're going back to escapism, and I welcome this change. I really do. I will admit, I was rather getting oversaturated every time I looked at the next Call of Duty or the next Battlefield, or the next FPS in general. It's going, look at this, you can fire this rifle with supreme accuracy, look at all that texture detailing. And I don't really care about the texture detailing. I want to escape from my reality. That's why I play games. That's why most people play games, to be honest. They use it as a form of escapism. And that is where we've gone to. You know, we've come to, well, game designers have finally hit that realization that, people don't like playing, the modern military, they don't want to play as Sergeant Dan or, Private Gump. They want to go and play as some futuristic soldier of fortune who can overcome any obstacle. But that doesn't mean to say that the modern military shooter is a bad genre to focus your game on. I mean, we've had some fantastic games. Arma's been a fantastic military simulator, and I want to do some stuff on it in the future. I mean, obviously it's had huge successes. A lot of them, spawned the zombie survival series DayZ, and games of that ilk through modding. It's now got the Battle Royale franchise going on, and people are constantly the whole survivalist thing, and it's done that very well for what it is. It's like the whole MOBA scene came after Warcraft 3 engine, League and Dota. Those are Warcraft 3 mods. And then we've got Heroes of the Storm, which is from Blizzard, who made Warcraft 3. Coming out soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'd love to get involved with it. So it's the evolution of the genre and the idea. So it'd be nice to go back to this whole sci-fi side of things. Apologies for blathering on, but I just needed to get off my chest. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked my videos, please feel free to click the subscribe button. If not, I should put a little button somewhere here on the video as an annotation. If you want to carry on the discussion, please leave a comment below, and I will comment with you all and interact with you all. And feel free to hit us up on the socials as well, on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you want to see more live shenanigans of myself playing games, talking about games, talking with the audience about games, maybe even hosting a few talk shows in the future, please feel free to go over to hitbox.tv/Chaos Gaming Addiction. Again, click the link in the annotation or link below this video, and click the follow button once you're there as well, and you'll be alerted to every time I go live, and we'll have some great laughs together live on air. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.